Hey, hi friends. Thank you so much for the overwhelming response on the puzzles which I mentioned in my WhatsApp status, and most of you have played it and enjoyed it during the quarantine. So, most of you have got the answers, but there are still some who are stuck in some of the time consuming levels and they are still facing some issues as in what the answers may be. So, this video is solely for them, as in what exactly and how to think on the levels. And if you still think that your brain is awaiting, as in the answers is somewhere around the corner, you can still take your time, and the link is again mentioned in the description box. And before watching this video, you can still try it out, as in storm your brain and try to fetch the answers if you need. So let's begin. Then this is the level 1 which I'm just showing on my screen. So there's no input box in the screen if I keenly observe on the screen. So most of my friends DM me and told me that the puzzle is built wrong, or there's no input box. So is there any chance that we need to give you inputs? Then the level or the screen would be changed. So there was no such thing like that. The only hint which here it is that classes blind us and inspector is all you need to remove them. So when the word inspect comes, at that time only your brain flashes out that this might be related something with F12, that is inspecting the whole element on the page. But to some of those, this was still not clear. So the only main thing which you know you should juggle your mind with, that is there's no input given for the solution. So we need to inspect the whole thing, and there might be something hidden in the inspect elements that you need to remove, add, or something like that, that would take you to level 2. But here it is remove them, and here it is classes blind. So if we check the whole inspect element, there's something which we find out that is a blind keyword, and it's a class. Yes, it's a class, so it blinds us. So we can try it out by remove D N I L D and begin this and try to press enter. So voila, we are moved to level 2. So this was the hint, and this is what the exact way in which direction you should think for the level 1. For level 2, this is of course a QR code scanner, and to solve this, most of you didn't face issue for this because this was straightforward, that you need to scan the code and you might get something which is there in the or there encrypted in the QR code. So in the QR code, when we scan it, you can scan it again from my screen, and you would get some data hidden behind it, and that sometimes clues are hidden in plain sight. You just need to look carefully. After all, we can trust nothing but the eyes. So I trusted my eyes and read it all it as it mentioned, but when I trusted it at a higher end, I can you know see it keenly that there are something which are hidden in the there is something which is hidden in the data, that is 1 is there, 4 is there, 5 is there, but I read it directly that my mind took those number as the alphabets, and I read it in a vague way. But yep, there are the codes, and here you can see there are 4 input boxes. So the first word, which is plain, has one number associated with it, that is 1, and the next is look, which has 0. Then the next is, after that involves 4 as in the number, and the next is trust, which has 5 as a number. So if I click it, I move to level 3. So in this level 3, there is escape to level 4 before the pixels consume the screen. So most of my friends press the escape and hooray, they went to level 3, because the pixelets which are there, those who were consuming the screen, we directly tend to think that something is consuming our screen, and something is not right. So we move on, as in press Windows L or try to shut the things off, or try to do such thing that the screen stops doing those things. So there was a keyword which you would have seen, that was press that is escape was the keyword. So if you press escape, then of course you move on to level 4. And of course this mentions this is the most trickiest part of all the levels. This mentions that we need to solve this to move to level 5. Again, there's no input box, but there's a chessboard given and it has some players in a specific pattern. They are standing in a specific pattern, and if we click on all of these, try to click on any of these, we see that there are some places, that is the places are the where the player is standing upon. So this is C1, of course this is E1, that is the C throw and first column. And if I click on this, for example, then this gives me F6, and if I click on this, then this gives me F5. This is somewhat related to players placement. So again, if I check the chessboard again, so this juggles my mind to think in a direction where, you know, there are 4 moves. After 4 you click as in the first position, second position, third position, fourth position, then the whole thing which was coming here collapses. As in the direction to think is, one direction to think is that after 4 inputs of placement, the thing collapses down. So the 4 positions which are specific to this checkbox, we need to give it as a solution that would take us to level 5. So this is the direction to think, and we again keenly observe it. So one direction to think is that the 4 moves are left out to checkmate the white king. So this is one direction. Another direction is that there are 4 moves to checkmate this black king by this queen, or any of the moves, or any of the 4 moves. So there's 4 move checkmate to either black or vice versa to white. So these are the 2 solutions which we tend to think. But again, if we take on the whole thing, you can see a pattern. So the pattern is that there are 4, as in 5 players over here, 1 player over here, 2, and again 5 over here, 1, and again 5 over here. So that is 1, 2, as in these alternate positions are somehow in a patternized manner, as in there's a combination exists for which we can think of. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4. So there are 4 combinations which are there in this chessboard, as in on the row which the players are standing, and there is no combination in the columns. If we check it out, as in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there are 8 combinations in this way. But what I can conclude is there are only 4 positions which we need to input in the answer box, and that would fetch us the answer. So here it comes out to be 8, all in all 8 positions. And here in the row wise manner, if we think, there are 4 positions. So I also was juggled as in what the exact answer may be for this, because this is built by my brother, and he also challenged me to take this as a challenge. And as in I spent almost an hour as in playing on the chessboard, thinking on the positions what the exact might be. So as a favor to all of the participants, I gave a hint to this, and the hint was there's a Morse code involved in this chess pattern. So what's a Morse code? So Morse code is a kind of language which we convey in a situation where we need not to convey the other parties. For examples, in the World War, Russia built in Morse codes, and they tried to convey the messages to the secret agents, which most of them couldn't decipher or decrypt as in what they exactly wanted to convey them, because most of the time they tapped their phones, tapped their devices, and wanted to get in as in what the exact communication is been going on the wireless devices or other devices, and they wanted to convey the messages and get the exact information from them so they could win the wars. So in this there's a combination, right? As I told in the rows 1, 2, 3, 4, there's a combination that is in 1 and 3, there's a combination, there's the same combination, and here also there is in 2 and 4 there's the same combination. So there's a hint, as in I already told, because yes, it's time taking, and it needs some hint that make you think in the exact direction. So these are the Morse codes, how it is exactly looking. I have just showed on the screen. So these are the international Morse codes, and if you can see here, so for A to Z there are some keywords, for 1 to Z 10 there are keywords. So inputting all these keywords, they used to build a language, and with these they used to convey the messages to the secret agents. So if we try to make the use of these Morse codes over here, we could possibly win this level. So dot and dash. So if you check here, on dot may either be associated with white, or dot may either be associated with black. So we'll check for both of the things. What I will do first of all here, that a black, as in a dash, black dash would specifically mean, I'll take that here as a dash would for a black player. So here I would input black as dash. So dash space dash dash, and then 3 dots. So if we check it out, as in this, is there something that help it out with the solution? So there's a dash space and dash space, 2 dashes, dash, then 2 dashes, 2 dash are there over here. So 2 dash and 3 dots. So all in all, 3 dashes and 3 dots. 3 dash, 3 dots, 3 dash, 3 dots, and none, I think, in the Morse codes. 3 dash and 3 dots. So they are none. So I'll interchange the things. That is, for black it would be dot, and for white it would be dash. So again, input the codes as in dot dot dot, 3 dots, but here again the space is there. So what I'll think is, there's a single dot. So for dot there's 1 dot, that is 3 dots, 3 dash, but we can see there's nothing. But you can see here that E involves a single dot. So black, if we associated black with a dot, so E is the one which would stand over here. So this, if we make it as E, then the next position, as in the former part of it, that is which column, as in first, second, third, for that we'll again take this as the key codes, that is dot dot and 3 dashes, 2 dot 3 dash, 2 dot 3 dash are there in the 2. So that is E2. We'll try to input E2 as the first input. E2 is this one. Then we'll move on to the next, that is black is there, that is dot dash. Dot dash stands for dot, and dash are standing for A. So dot and dash stands for A. So A might be the as in the breathe part of the, as in the E was the first part of E2, then A might be the first part. Then we'll check as in what is the exact, that is, oh yeah, dot and 4 dashes. Dot and 4 dashes are there in 1. So we'll try to input A1 as the next. And for the next thing, what we'll try to do is, there's again the same pattern as in the pattern which we followed over here, but the black is there first. So of course E would be the thing, because he also E was the first thing. But here we can see that it has changed a bit, that is 3 dash and 2 dots. 3 dash and 2 dots are there in the 8. So E8 might be the third input. So E8 becomes this. Now if we move on to the last pattern, it again has somewhat related to the second row. So but here a bit changes there, that is black is first, that is dot, dot and dash. Dot dash stands for again A. So A is the former part of the first input of the last thing, and of course the last here it is dot dot dot. So 3 dot and 2 dash. 3 dots and 2 dash is 3. So A3 is, or maybe the exact answer for this, A3 is this. So hooray, we solved the level 4 and I successfully passed to solve the level 5, and so this is the hint that is just a word away to open the success door. So most of my friends were stuck in as in the word here may be related with pictures but also related with success, that is synonym or antonym, and the places related with these pictures, and they try to input those 6-letter word in this, and they try to fetch out the answer, but that wasn't the case. And so if we keenly look on the pictures mentioned over here, so the first picture is, if we Google Lens it and try to get it out as in where the place is just situated and what exactly the features are, what the first word stands for it, we try to make it as possible. Then this is an Empire State Building, and this is in New York, and so if we write it down, we'll just open the notepad and try to make the solution possible by getting all the answers. First one is Empire State Building in New York. Try to get other features if they are possible, as in the country or anything else that would help us with the solution. Empire State Building is 102-story art deco skyscraper. We'll just try to get some more info which would help us in the solution. So it's in Midtown Manhattan in New York City, and it's there in the USA, and it's with tallest freestanding structure. So, but here if you can see all the places are there, so it might be related with the exact name of this or the country or the city. So we'll only take 3 keywords over here, that is Empire State Building in New York City, and it's in USA. So we'll move on to next one, that is, we'll again try to Google Lens it, and if you do it from your device, then it comes out to be Moai structures, Moai statues, and they are there in the, if I open the Wikipedia for it, then it's a monolithic human figure. Moai statues is what the place from where it comes. I'll just input ads in the second thing, Moai statues, and the next thing which comes out to be, it's in Eastern Polynesia in Eastern Island. So it's in Polynesia in Eastern Island. So next thing, that's, so this is all, we all are familiar with the structure, and this is Eiffel Tower in Paris in France. No need to Google Lens it. So this is also a familiar structure, that is Statue of Liberty. Statue of Liberty is in New York, USA. Again as the first one, so this might be somehow related as in the first and the fourth answer. We'll try to comment as in what the exact answer may be within a while. till that time we'll crack down the last structure, second last structure, sorry, and that's again we try to Google Lens it, then it comes out to be Angkor Wat in Cambodia. So it's a religious temple. And the last one, it somehow looks similar to Lotus House that is there in the Delhi, India. But most of the structure are related to wonders of the world, and so this might be a relic structure as well. And this came out to be in Australia. So that I will again help it out as in what the exact structure is. So that was Opera House in Australia, Sydney. So it's Opera House, Sydney Opera House. And that's in Australia. So if I try to get these words, that is the first letters of them, that is E, M, P, S, A, S. So this might be first possibility. The second possibility would be this with cities, that is M, P, P, N, C, and S. And the last possibility would be with the countries or islands which they are there. U, E, F, and for here it's again USA, so it would be U. Then there's Cambodia, C, and lastly A. So these are the only combinations for which we might get an answer with these structures. So of course the first word is if we try to make a meaningful letter out of it, then that may be same, and the other words left out. S, again S is there, and E is left out. Same C, not a meaningful, but if I inverse it, that is C, same. Yes, this makes sense. And with this, we'll try it out. NP and NCS. So with this, PNCS, SPCN, SPCN, SPCN is there. Again, P is remaining, and another word, N is remaining. So I don't think this would fetch us with some meaningful letter as a word. Then from this, alphabets will again try it out. That is FUCA, EU, EUCA, and again U and is left out. So again, this is not in anyhow making in any combination. These two are not letting us in some of the meaningful words. So we'll try this thing first, that is ceasing. If this matches out, then we'll rejoice that we have solved this thing. We have cracked this thing. So S, tab, E, tab, S, tab, A. Tab M, tab E, and press enter. Guess what? The thing says that you need to enter your name over there, and if I click on OK, then success. Hooray, we have solved all the puzzles in 27 minutes and 5 seconds. And of course you can again try to quickly solve these things. And so there's a hack in part over here that you will get a less amount of time, as in firstly you take a little time, as in a more ample amount of time to think, and to just to post out within your friends. You can solve it for the next time in a very less amount of time. And the time over here would be, of course, would be less with the previous one, and you can share with us, and we'll of course highlight it in the description box, as in who are the winners for this puzzle. Thank you so much. Stay tuned for other puzzles also. Thanks.